I wasn't recording that last part. Shoot. That's okay. We're recording now. Okay. Megan, we're just talking a little bit about like same stuff we've kind of been chatting about, like groups and like calendars and trying to get everybody on board, and kind of I'm just sharing a little bit on how I've been a little bit MIA lately because I'm just really kind of burnt out, and talking a little bit about why, sort of. So, you know, Teresa and I were having that conversation where it's like I literally came back from Summit, and I feel like so many people come back from Summit and like their fuel is like their fire is fueled and they feel like their cup is so full, and I came back and I just felt like very like down and sad, and I feel like a lot of it was, you know, it was stressful. It was awesome, but it was stressful. There was like so much, like it was just chaotic, and I just left feeling like empty. And you know, for the last couple of weeks, I've really struggled to work this business because so much of this business, like so much of why I started this business was community. And in fact, I think that's like my number one reason still to this day. Like I had a lot of friends in high school, but I went to pharmacy school, as Colleen, you know, and like my group of friends, they all stayed home and went to community colleges or didn't go to college, and they all partied every weekend and hung out by the lake. And I was in a pharmacy curriculum, like really having to hone in and study my ass off. And I felt like I fell out of the loop. And so I don't have a ton of like friends from high school that I stay in touch with. College, same thing. You know, a lot of my college friends live in New York State because I went to school in New York State. I don't see them often. I talk to them every now and again. But anyways, I don't have like this like huge community. And we've talked about it before in terms of like, I don't feel like I have a great support system. And so for me, like so much of why I did Beachbody was the community, and the friendships and the support. And it's not the money, and it's not, you know, it's great money and it's great to stay on track with my health and nutrition, but I'm not like, the community is what I live for. And so I shared with Teresa, like, you know, I came home from Summit and I felt like, I just felt down. Like I didn't feel necessarily appreciated, or, you know, like a couple of things that were said that were not to me that I wish had been said to me, or opinions or views that I wish had been expressed directly to me. Cause I really felt sad. I felt like, you know, I feel like I've tried so hard to give so much to everybody that's on this group, that's in on our team. And I just left feeling like, not appreciated, I guess you could say, or yeah, I hope I'm expressing myself well. But, and then, you know, to come back and to take a step back and say, I'm going to be kind of like lay low a little bit because I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling like my heart's not in it. And when my heart's not in something, I just can't do it. And so, you know, I took a couple of weeks and I kind of just like laid low. And, you know, then when I went to Super Saturday, and I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me was when I posted and said, you know, like, I hate that I'm here right now. Like Super Saturday was hard for me, because of the fact that I was there and nobody was there. And it was a shitty weekend, and it was just a really crappy date that we had our Super Saturday. And I know it was impossible for anybody to get there. And I'm not upset that people weren't there. I think it was more like, again, I'm a words of affirmation person, and I live and breathe off of words, like expressions, people telling, like, and Teresa and I talked about this in the past, like, you know, we have different love languages, but like I need her every now and again, like just to tell me like, I love you, you're doing a great job, like we've got this, we're in this together. That, like her just saying that simple thing is like, okay, I have somebody on my team, like we're okay, we're gonna be okay. And so for me, like when I posted and I said, you know, I'm at Super Saturday and I'm really sad, I was already feeling sad. I was already feeling like down about the team. I was feeling like, you know, we weren't all like, there was no team unity. Like we were all kind of very like worried about ourselves, and like, that's fine. Like, I get it. You have to be selfish in certain parts of your life, but I just felt like, the team unity like wasn't there. And then when I posted and I said, you know, I'm here at Super Saturday and I'm really down that nobody's here with me. I hope that you guys can make it in October. And it said like, you know, I went on with the event and I spoke and I did the workout and I left and I got in the car and I started to get emotional, which is probably stupid and seems over dramatic to some people, but like, I'm just a very over emotional person when it comes to things like this. I take this team very seriously. I take like my role as a leader very seriously. And I just left feeling like, you know, I would have loved the people on stage with me to be my girls, like my girls, not, you know, I'm friends with Nicole, I'm friends with Tammy, like, they're my people, they're my friends, they're in the Beachbody community, but they're not my girls, they're not my team. And I just wanted you guys by my side. And so I got on, and I saw that it said seen by 17 people. And I lost it. And that sounds so stupid, but I was like, oh my God, like everybody saw that post and nobody thought to say like, hey, I'm really sad we couldn't be there. Like, I'm sure you crushed the workout. Like, Colleen, I saw your feedback on the Market Council page or on the Albany Beachbody page, like saying you crushed it. Like, those are like the little things that like keep me trucking. But when I saw like nobody thought to comment and say like, hey, I'm really sorry that we couldn't be there today, or we missed you too, or like that stuff is like what keeps me going in this. And so for a while before Summit, I felt down and I felt like, you know, I'm coming on these team calls. Like a lot of the time nobody was getting on. There would be like, I'd get on and nobody would get on. And I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm going to get off. Or I would come on and I would like speak about like, we're going to do this for this group. This is our plan. This is our calendar. You know, this is what I need you guys to do. Like, this is the things that bother me. Like, it bothers me when somebody posts in the group and we don't welcome them. Like, can you guys copy and paste? Like little things that just, no matter, it feels like no matter what I say, it's like falling on deaf ears. And so I was feeling that way before Summit, and then to go to Summit and to have little things come up that, you know, again, I'm a big words of affirmation person. To not get it is one thing, but then to get negative words of affirmation where people are saying things where I'm not around, or I'm hearing things that were said, or, you know, like that stuff strikes me to like my core. Like, you know, if Mike and I are having a hard time, 9 times out of 10, it's probably because he either didn't give me words of affirmation, or the words of affirmation he gave me were not negative, were not positive. That crumbles me. Like, and so I'm saying all this to say that I love this team, like with every piece of my being, and I care about everybody on this team, and I'm struggling. And I'm struggling because I feel like we're not communicating well and we're not functioning well as a team. I feel like we're not like in this, and like I want to be like in the trenches with you guys. Like I want our group to be fire because we're all in it together. Like one of the things that I think hurt me the most was when I heard that there was talk about how much my groups suck. And the reason why that really is hard for me is because I put so much into these groups for so long. And when my groups were fire, I never heard that they were fire. But the second I started to struggle and I got burnt out, all I was hearing was like, the groups suck. The groups suck. Your group sucks. Like, you know, and like people were saying like, I'm going to do my own group, you know, like Kim's group sucks. I'm going to do my own group. Like I want our mentality to be like, okay, Kim couldn't keep up. Like Kim's burnt out. Like we all got to like join forces, and we need to carry the weight for a little bit till she can relight her fire. Like I want us to be like a group, a team. Like the only person that can truthfully say my group sucks and like it's validated is Teresa. And the reason why I say that is because she's gone and done her own group. And the reason why I say that is because she's carried the weight, and she knows the weight of running your own group, and she knows what it takes, and she knows what a good group is and what a shitty group is. And so she can totally sit there and say that my group sucks because she's been running her own groups and freaking killing it. And I asked her to stop running her own groups to come do a group with me because I wanted to join forces, and I wanted it to be like a fire group that we all got to benefit from. But what's happening is we're not all contributing but we're benefiting from it. And we're not even benefiting as much as we should be able to benefit from this group because we're not contributing. So, you know, like she took the time to do a calendar, and we haven't stuck to the calendar. Like those are things that take time. And so I got burnt out, and now I feel like she's getting burnt out, and I feel like none of us are working in a cohesive force. Like, and I want us to. And that's like, so it doesn't matter, like what happened has happened. I want our team to be solid and strong, but it's going to get to a point where like, we're going to say, if you want to put people into this group, you have to add value to the group, because it's not fair to your people to be thrown into a group that Teresa is running or that I'm running when they don't even know who we are. And that doesn't make them feel comfortable. And honestly, like what's going to end up happening is, so I got burnt out. Now Teresa's been carrying the weight because I basically like threw it on her and was like, hey, I'm toast. Like I need you. And she was like, okay, I got you. And now she's burnt out. And so it's like, what do we do? Do we say, hey, Megan, can you help us? And then Megan's going to get burnt out because we're not all doing it together. And the answer shouldn't ever be, I'm going to go do my own group, because that's selfish. And this is a very selfless business, and being on a team is a very selfless thing. Like that, we all know the saying, there's no I in team. We have to work selflessly, not selfishly. And if all we're ever worried about at the end of the day is ourselves, like that just makes me feel yucky inside. Like, and that's a horrible description of a word, but like, I'm dying. What I'm dying for is community. Like I need you guys now, like more than I've ever needed you guys. And I'm telling you about the words of affirmation because it's important. Like I talked to a couple of my friends who are very successful in this business, and I shared with them what happened after Summit and how I was feeling and where I was. And they all said to me, have you done the personality quiz with your team? Do they know your love language, and do you know theirs? And I said, well, I know theirs. And I think I've mentioned to them maybe once or twice that I'm not an acts of service person at all. I clearly attract acts of service people to me. And I think part of that is I will do anything for anyone. I will give you the shirt off my back, no questions asked. And so I think I attract acts of service people to me because my husband's an acts of service person too. But I'm like very much a words of affirmation person. And guys, I will do the work. I will put in the grind. I will bust my ass every day. I will kill myself for the people I love until I feel like I'm unappreciated. And when it happens, I shut down completely. Like you guys saw it happen over the last few weeks. I close off. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. And I'm sorry. And that's like, I'm saying this out of love, just so that you can understand me a little bit better and why I've been so and MIA. Like, I want everybody to be able to just understand, like, and it's not about just me. Like, it's important that we know each other's love languages, because if I'm like, you guys know from having me as your coach, when you guys see me like comment on every story and every post and you have a transformation, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I freaking love you so much. I'm obsessed with you. Like, that's because I'm a words of affirmation person. Like, I spew it because that's what I crave. If I like am not getting any sort of like pat on the back, like, hey, and I'm not saying you guys need to like baby me and coddle me. I'm just saying, if I'm doing something day in and day out and I'm busting my ass and I feel like I'm getting zip about it, until it's negative words of affirmation, like your group sucks, your groups are nothing, like you need to start doing more in your groups, like that strikes me to my core and I shut the F down. So I want very badly for our team to be successful, but we will not succeed if our group offers zero value to our challengers. We will not succeed because they're not going to be successful. And if they're not successful as challengers, they're not going to stay the course, guys. They're not going to drink the shakes. They're not going to do the workouts. And they're certainly not going to join us on our team of coaches. And I want us to be successful selflessly, not selfishly. I want every single person on this team to genuinely care and have each other's back. Like, there's not a single thing that you guys could ask me to do that I wouldn't jump hurdles and climb mountains to try to make happen for you guys. Like, I think I've proven that over the last X amount of months and year to a year, 2 years, whatever. But I don't feel like I'm getting that in return. Like, there were small things throughout Summit that were small things that I needed. And I just feel like the comments that were made to my husband, the things that were said behind closed doors, were super, super hurtful to me. And I want everybody to just move forward but genuinely care. Like, I want a team of people. At the end of the day, it does not matter to me if I have 2 coaches or 50, because it's not about quality to me, or not about quantity to me. It's quality, quality over quantity. And I just want coaches in this that if I have their back, they have my back, and we have each other's back. If we come to a decision on something that we're going to do as a group, I just want us to make that a priority. We're just failing each other, and it feels like shit to all of us. And I can sit here and say, and I feel like everybody can, that I can sit here and say I wasn't present over the last couple of weeks, and I haven't given 110% over the last few months. And I know that is because I'm burnt out. And I don't want this to feel like, oh, it's all about Kim, because that's not, if you guys know me well at all, you know that that's not how I want this to come across. I'm just simply trying to explain myself, where I'm at, because I don't know how to move forward until I can put it out there. And until I feel like we can all say, if you're sitting here listening to this and you're like, yeah, you know what, I don't feel like Kim gave me very good words of affirmation, then say that to me. Tell me, this, you did this, and this was hard for me. Because I'm a firm believer in we can't move forward and be a successful team if we don't understand each other, and if we don't genuinely care about each other. Not it's easy to post a picture on Facebook or on Instagram and be like, this is my team, these are my girls. I've seen a lot of coaches do it, but not genuinely mean it, and they're not successful. We have to genuinely care about each other and each other's well-being. And this business cannot be about money. It cannot just be about selling a challenge pack to somebody and throwing them in a shitty ass group. It just can't. That's not, I've said this since day one, I have zero desire to build a team where all we do is just work off commission and sell to people and fly the coop. I want this to be very heartfelt, very genuine, and we're in it together. So I literally, I've been wanting to express this since Summit. And if you ask Mike, he could attest to this. I've gone back and forth about doing it, not doing it, talking about it, not talking about it. I've avoided it clearly for weeks upon weeks. I was going to at one point do a Facebook Live in the team page. And then I got to a point where I was like, well, why am I going to do this? Because nobody's going to listen to it or watch it. And they're certainly not going to comment. So I felt very much at a standstill. And you guys know that I've always told you I will be 110% honest with you throughout this entire journey. And so I felt like I was doing a disservice to myself, to this team, to everybody on it, if I didn't jump on and share where I am right now and try to move forward from here in a different, more cohesive fashion. And I'm shaking, and I don't like confrontation, and I don't like conflict. and I don't like things to be about me. I'm a very not selfish person. And so this to me feels like I'm being selfish by sharing it. And so if it's perceived that way, I'm sorry. Because I really don't want it to be that way. I just didn't know. Like I said to Teresa the other day, I don't know how I can move forward and give my heart to this business until I can, like, what do I do? She's like, you have to get it off your chest. You have to share, because it's like, you have to give them the opportunity, and all of us the opportunity to make a difference. And if we don't know and understand you or how you're feeling, then we can't try to be different moving forward. So I know the groups suck. I know they suck. Like, guys, I feel it too. And I wish that I could give what I used to give, but you have to understand that when I was doing that for our groups to be fire, I was live an hour every single night, getting on to maybe one person watching, maybe one, nobody watching it back and commenting. It feels like dead air. It feels like, why, like, what am I doing? I have my kids going to bed with my husband. I'm missing time with my husband. I'm taking time away from working my business to talk to myself for an hour every single night. And then, I post things and no comments, no thank yous. Like, I'm a big, like, just say thank you. Like, literally all I need is just a thank you so much. Like, that was very helpful. Thank you. Or thanks for doing that, Kim. Like, that's literally all I need, just to keep trucking. And I know that I'm the leader and that I have to lead from the front and that I need to carry some weight of the team. But again, this is a team. And I feel like there's like crazy, unrealistic expectations on me. And maybe that's my fault. Like, part of what I said to Mike when we were talking about this is, I feel like maybe that's my fault. Like, if I think I gave that expectation, like, don't worry about it, I'll do the group. Like, I got the group. You can just throw whoever you want in my group. Like, I created that expectation. So that's on me. But now I'm owning that and I'm saying, like, I can't continue with that. Like, I need help. And I want to get back to a place where, like, this is so much my passion. This is so much my everything. Like, and I hope that comes through in this call. And I hope you guys can, like, see that and understand that. Cause the last couple of weeks, I have not been myself. Like, I've just been really, really struggling. And it's been, that feeling of, like, I felt like I was losing, or I lost everything and everybody. And again, that's super dramatic, and I get it. I know I'm being dramatic, but really, truly, you have to understand, like, when I tell you guys, like, you are my girls, this is my team, like, I care about all of you, like, I love the shit out of all of you, I'm obsessed with all of you, like, I genuinely mean that. I just need a little something. Like, I need something to hold on to keep trucking. Like, for a long time, it's felt very, very one way. And I don't need the two-way street to be a lot. Like, I just need a little something. So, I guess that's all, I was hoping more people would be on tonight, but obviously, and that's the other thing, to get onto a team call. And, like, I appreciate the hell out of you guys being on right now, because it's Sunday night. That's why I kind of don't love Sundays. Like I said in our group message, like, I feel like Sundays are obviously not the best time for people. Now we're in the summer, it's not winter, 7:30, it's still beautiful out. People are swimming, people are whatever, going for a walk. So I think we need to move our team call to, and I know, like, everybody says, well, Sundays work for me, but then we have 2 people on. And again, it's exhausting to show up and to be like, here I am. And again, I appreciate the hell out of you guys for being on. But it just gets to a point where you're like, okay, is Sunday not good? Like, every time I say, who's going to be on? Like, well, I'll do my best. Like, I just want to get back to a place where, like, we are so in this. Like, we're so in it. It's such a huge, massive priority. And it's hard, and I get it, but like, I would love it if we could all get back to this mentality of like, this is a job, and like, this is my leader. And I respect her, and I show up for my team because they're depending on me, just like I depend on them. Like, we're so good at showing up on our stories. We're so good at staying dedicated, right, to like our workouts and our nutrition and our shakes. Like, we're so good at that. We're like failing each other because we're not showing up for each other. Like, in the times where I feel like we need that cohesiveness and that team unity so much. If we can just start focusing on, like, if you guys think the group sucks, then put stuff into the group. Like, there's nothing more frustrating to me than when people are saying my group sucks and they're like, I'm gonna go do my own. Like, how does that make sense? That's so selfish. Like, how long did I carry the weight? And now you're like, her group sucks, I'm gonna do my own thing, screw her. Like, you're just gonna leave me here with nothing? Like, and again, I'm the leader, I get it, but I feel like I want a team that walks with me and that has my back. Like, I just feel like it's like, Kim's going through a tough time, so like, yeah, screw her, I'm gonna do my own group, and she can figure it out on her own. Like, that's just, it's a crappy, like, how would you guys feel if I was like, you know what, guys, you guys like are not doing anything in my group, so fuck y'all, I'm gonna like delete you from my group, I'm gonna delete all your customers, and you can go do your own thing. Like, have fun, bye. That would feel like shit, right? Like, that's how it feels to me when everybody wants to talk about how much my group sucks and they're not themselves adding value. They just want to go and do their own thing. So I'm burnt out. That's it. It's that simple. I'm burnt out. And I think it takes a lot for me to reach this point. But I had to come on and be honest because I don't feel good about, like, I told Mike, I left Summit. I'm gonna get emotional. And I said to him, I said, I failed, like, really bad. I've completely failed. And I hate failure. Like, nothing feels as bad as failing to me. I'm a perfectionist, and like, I just love the shit out of people that I love. And we were on the ride home on Saturday, and I was like, what did I do so wrong? Like, it was so stressful, it was so chaotic, and part of that is just that that's what Summit is. But I was like, I don't feel like anybody had my back. I don't feel like anybody saw me in this struggle. And I said, I failed. And I called Teresa because Teresa had already left, and I said, I failed. And she's like, no, you didn't fail. I'm like, yeah, I failed. I've done something really wrong because we were not a unit. We were not, like, I had this, I don't do well when I envision something in my head going a certain way and it doesn't go that way. It's just, it's something I have to get over. But like, if I think we're going to go on vacation and vacation is going to be amazing and we're going to have beautiful weather and we're going to have all this time as a family, and then we go on vacation and we get lost and the hotel's awful, and like, I don't do well with that. And so I left Summit and I like struggled really bad. Part of it, I think too, was like, you know, the being at Summit, like Alyssa, that all that still being so fresh and feeling like, you know, I just got emotional, and I saw other leaders and their team, and I just felt like, what did I do? Like, I failed everybody. Like, we were late to things. I took the grunt of that. Just everything. Like, I just felt like I failed. And so I felt like I had to tell you guys this because I didn't know how to keep trucking without, you know, like I said to Teresa, I don't know what to do. I was already feeling this way before Summit, and now I just feel like I felt like Summit was what I needed to relight my fire. And I just felt like it just, I loved it. I love being with everybody. The pictures that we have, I'll cherish forever. But I would have loved to have done a photo shoot as a team, not separate. I would have loved to have had a plethora of pictures of ourselves. Like, I would have loved to have done things together, and been together the majority of the time. And part of that is like, you know, I have to, some of my friends, they were like, you just got to go to Summit for you. And guys, the last person I went to Summit for was me. Literally. Like I said to Mike, I'm only going because they're going. Like I'm literally going for them. And like Mike would say, well, why did you go to the core? I didn't think like you needed anything there. And I was like, well, I went because Rachel wanted to go to the core. And so I went with her. Or, you know, why didn't you come back to the hotel? You know, not that he was like, hey, bitch, where were you? But like, well, hey, I thought you were going to come back to the hotel. Like I didn't have my egg thing. And I hadn't eaten all day. And I didn't have my egg thing and I hadn't eaten all day and I wasn't going to eat all day because I didn't go back to the hotel because I stayed to be with people that wanted to do something else because I didn't want them, I wanted them to have the best possible experience that they could have. And I think I did what I always do in my life, which is I worry so much about everybody else that I drain the shit out of my cup. So the anxiety is real right now. Like, heavy chest, because I don't like, I just hope that this comes across the right way and that I'm understood, which is that like I love this team so much. But for me to be able to give myself wholeheartedly and like be back to the leader that I was, that everybody wants me to be, killing the groups and like doing lives that are straight fire, that are like motivational. Like I cannot get on and do a motivational live speech when I feel like my tank is just empty, gone. I don't know how to get on and like do that. I don't know how. So you guys know I'm not fake. Like I just say what I feel and what I think, unless I think it's going to hurt somebody else. So that's why I've like really tried to just persevere over the last few weeks. But I felt myself like I'm literally, I wouldn't even look at the coach team messages. I wasn't going in our group. And then I felt like, holy shit, now I'm failing Teresa because she's calling me like, hello, little help here. Like I'm trying to do this group. And I'm like, I know, I got nothing.
So I want to tell you that I appreciate everything you do. The words of affirmation stuff is probably the one thing that I am the worst at. So yes. It's not that I don't appreciate what you do. It's just not something I think about saying to you, but I'll work on it. Thank you for sharing all of this stuff because I've kind of been wondering lately about it, but I didn't want to intrude per se. So I don't know. And I think a lot too, at least for me, I'm very dense about things. So you kind of have to spell it out for me.
And I think that's why I think that I appreciate that so much, like what you said. I think that's why I finally realized like I need to do this because I think for so long I've brushed stuff off my shoulder out of fear of hurting other people or out of fear of causing conflict. Like I said to Teresa, I said, oh my God, I go, I'm going to get home and I'm not going to have a team. They're all going to quit. Like they're all going to quit. I'm going to have nobody. I'm going to have nothing. And she was like, you need to just take a Xanax and relax. And like, I think I was so like in this mindset of like, Kim, you are the leader. Leaders do not complain. Leaders do not ask of their people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I just felt like I cannot ask them to help me because I'm the leader. Like I just need to do it. And I kept telling myself like, Kim, you just need to do it. You just need to do it. You just need to do it. And then like, I just kept getting more and more burnt out. And I was so, and I'm still afraid about the fact that I'm recording this and I'm afraid to share it because I don't want to hurt anybody.
Well, I can't speak for other people, but I can promise you will never hurt my feelings with anything you have to say, ever. You can ask Teresa. We're very blunt with each other.
Yeah.
So just, if you need something, just tell me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so we have less than 1 minute. So I'm gonna stop this before, I think I'll lose the recording, but thank you guys for being on. I'm gonna post this. I'll put it on YouTube and I'll share it in the coach team page. So, and if you need me, you know where to find me. Thank you guys very much.